What's up, peeps? Um, Guys, I'm going to be completely upfront and honest with you right off the bat on this video. I've done a lot of soul searching, thinking about this one, and started to not even make the video. Wasn't sure about the ethics or the morals or how I should exactly handle this, but I was curious about a new knife company that was offering something that I thought could be kind of cool. Um, These are budget knives designed by some of the most high-end makers. Some of them just designers. Anyway, the reason why I wanted to check these out was because I'd already heard a little bit about them, and I wanted to kind of give my sarcastic opinion on it. I really wanted to root for these things. And the reason why I wanted to root for these is because the first thing I heard was, these are just budget knives and budget materials that are priced higher just because of the designer. And the first time I heard that, I thought, well, how ironic that people in our community are complaining about a budget knife costing $80 just because a high-end designer signed on. I thought that was the stupidest complaint I've ever heard. Reason for that is because those same people are more than willing to pay 80 to $100 for a budget knife designed by a guy or guys who make YouTube videos. They don't make knives. They've never made a knife in their life. They've never, they've never spent a night without sleep, but from welding burn in their eyes. They've never caught their shirt on fire, grinding a piece of steel. Some of them have never strapped on a pair of work boots a day in their life. Yet they design a knife, and you guys buy them up, and that's fine. That's your choice. I just thought it was really ironic that people are more than willing to pay that price for a knife designed by a YouTube dude and then complain about that same price being applied to knives designed by high-end knife makers. Yeah, so let's get into this. Guys, I got these knives in from my affiliate Blade Ops. I was really nervous about how to handle this video because I just started my affiliate with them, and the last thing I want to do is piss them off and lose that opportunity. However, I was willing to do that if it meant telling the truth. And upon speaking with, I haven't got permission to use his name, so I'm not gonna. But upon speaking with my contact at Blade Ops, his exact words were, "Hey man, I don't give a shit. I want you to tell the truth, give your honest opinion about the knife." In that moment, I knew that I had affiliated myself with the right people. These are people who make their living selling product, and they very well could have said, "Hey, if we're going to loan you product, as small as your channel is, we at least expect positive reviews." That's not what he did. I did promise him that I would find promising, positive things to say about these knives, and I can. I'm going to be completely honest with you. My plan was to use this opportunity to make 3 pieces of content because I have 3 knives here. Changed my mind about that. My plan was to go in and research who each one of these designers are. I changed my mind about that. And I have not changed my mind about finding something positive to say about them. These are positively decent budget knives. I know budget is, it's a controversial word because everybody's budget is different. Are these knives, in my opinion, worth the $80 to $90 that they're selling them for? I'm going to say no, theoretically. And I'm going to give an example of why that's a no. I know many of you guys think, well, who is Shane even to talk about budget knives, because he's not a budget knife guy. Guys, I absolutely was a budget knife guy. I owned over 100 of them. I gave them all away. But I'm going to use this knife as an example. This is the Civivi riffle. Now, no, you can't get a riffle like this with these extremely glamorous wood scales from Hawaii Knife and Gear. But that's not what this video is about. It's just about the knife. It's, the quality of the build and the materials. This knife was right around 50 bucks. It's in 14C, super slicey. I think it's worth what it costs. Now, the factory scales for this thing is the absolute crappiest micarta I'd ever experienced. That's why I chose to have these Kowa scales made for it, which anybody that's experienced Kowa can tell you that a camera doesn't do it justice. So this video is not about the Civivi riffle, though. The only reason why I used that knife is because it's, I feel like, the best example of where these knives should be. I understand why there is a price hike. Guys, these knives are $80 because, yes, it's still a budget knife in D2. Some come in micarta, some come in G10. It's still a budget D2 bladed knife. The reason why it's more expensive is that they have designers to pay. Designers from HEA Designs, designers from CHAVEZ. These people have to be paid for their design, because that is what EIKONIC is planning on building their brand around. I actually like this one, by the way. Flipper tab works great. Yeah, you can fail it. Nice little knife, though. I'll go on to the next one. This one is the Dromus. Is that what that says? The Dromus? Yeah. Olive canvas micarta. This is actually slightly better olive canvas micarta than what came on the riffle, in my opinion. I'm almost positive all these are D2 blade steel. So, they kind of brought us that 3 years too late. But let's move on to this next one. Guys, they do have nicer boxing than you typically expect from a budget blade, so that's cool. They send you a cool EIKONIC sticker. So there is that. And the design, I will admit, is more appealing than a lot of budget blades out there. Now, you guys know how I'm going to feel about this. This is a thumb stud only knife, so there's no way I would ever own it. And there you can see me struggling to open it, even though this was the one I was the most excited about, just because this is a Ramon Chavez design. It definitely has a Chavez look. Just that, I don't know how to explain that Chavez look, but that constant sweep, and the handle shape, it does scream Chavez. However, it's missing the most important aspect to a Chavez knife, in my opinion, and that is the huge forward finger choil. But however, had they added it, you can see how much blade you would have had left. Not a whole lot, so I get it. And this was the knife that actually sparked my interest in EIKONIC, because, you can get a Chavez design for around $80. Man, that's great. And it still is great, guys. It's a quality made knife, that you're paying a little extra for because Mr. Chavez has to get a check. No different than the budget knives that you're paying a little more for because your favorite YouTuber needs to get a check. As I'm not bad-mouthing that business model. That there's nothing wrong with that. It just strikes me as odd that some of those very same reviewers and some of their fans are quick to badmouth these things when they're paying the same money for a knife designed by a guy or guys that literally don't know shit about making knives. That's just the truth. I'm not out to hurt anybody's feelings about it, but it's just true. They're just YouTube personalities that decided to make knives. So, you got this third one here. I apologize. I didn't research who designed this one. Once again, it's another thumb stud knife. This is the Fairwind and Night Black G10 thumb studs. This is the smallest one of the bunch. I can get all 4 fingers on it, not comfortably. It's not a super ergonomic knife in my opinion. I can feel every corner, but once again, it is a budget knife with a decent looking, decent ground, fairly thin D2 blade. I'm sure it'll, I'm sure it will slice and cut just fine. The question on all these comes down to price and what you find important and what you're looking for. If you're looking for that Chavez or HEA or whoever any of these other designers are, I apologize. I just didn't feel it worthy to research. If you're super into acquiring something designed by them, you can do it for less than $100. There's the proof right there in front of you. So that's kind of cool. But what comes to mind even more than comparing it to this $50 Civivi, though, because these are $30 to $40 more expensive than this. So I think this comparison is even closer because this is literally right around $30 more. And you might not be interested in this exact model. This is my native Salt and LC200N, but I happen to see right now, still as of this moment, you can buy the native lightweight, which is going to come with these same FRN bidirectional grip handles that do not feel cheap by any means, and a back lock. You can buy the native 5 and Rex 45 right now for $112. That's about $25 to $30 more than this. No, you're not getting a bougie knife designer name, so I get that, but you are getting a better knife and a much better blade steel from a American company. They may even be made in Taiwan. I'm not sure about the native series. Let me take a look. No, this one's made in Golden, Colorado. So, $25, $30 more. Lord forbid you go on the secondary and get it even a little cheaper. You can go from a Chinese-made knife to an American-made knife and have a much better product. However, like I said, that was not the goal here. The goal here was not to make the best pocket knives on the planet, because in this price range you can't do that. The goal here was to provide buyers with a taste of high-end designers and a budget knife. And I think they pulled it off okay. Do I wish they were $50? Sure I do, but people have to be paid. I understand. Like I said, the only reason I signed up to receive these knives, the only reason was to prove a point that this is, regardless of what you say about the materials, this is no different than spending $80 on some YouTuber that drew a knife on a piece of paper. At least here, yes, you're still getting a budget blade. You may be getting D2 instead of 14C or whatever. But the point is, you're still getting a design by a knife maker or at the very least, a knife designer. I choose at this point in my knife collecting life, I have a limit to what I can purchase and what I can obtain. So because I am limited, I choose to buy primarily American, and more importantly, I choose to buy knives from people who make knives. I don't have an issue with a knife maker having his design made by somebody else, but I at least want to know he's a knife maker. These are knife makers, guys. They're knife makers who didn't have time to make an $80 budget knife, so they had somebody else doing it. Barring the morals and ethics into Chinese production, forget all that shit. Y'all have heard me say enough about it. That is what it is. So it is, it's just no different than buying YouTuber designed knives. So, You know, if you don't like the knives and you want to bash them because of the materials or the quality, hey, go right ahead, man. That's up to you. I don't I didn't find anything really wrong with any of them. That's not the first time I've had them out of the box. But, you know, I think they're probably just as good as any other Chinese made knife designed by your favorite YouTube personality or whoever, you know. Wanted to turn the knives up here so this way you can see the names of what I had out here. This is the Ramon Chavez, the Dromas, and the Fairwind. You know, I apologize that I didn't put forth the effort to do these videos individually. I just don't feel like they deserved an individual video. So I chose to do it this way at my own demise because I get less content, whatever. I do want to, I guess, you know, give a public apology. You know, I'm sorry I didn't really love these things and couldn't provide, you know, the advertising that you know that Blade Ops probably deserves for them. But yeah, not bashing them, not telling you not to buy them. I'm telling you, if you want a budget version of something designed by somebody that you know you feel like you'll probably never be able to own one of their knives, this is a way to go. And don't let anybody give you any shit about it. There's no difference in buying this and buying something that's drawn on a piece of paper by a YouTube personality. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. I will put the Blade Ops link in my description. It may take me a few extra minutes, maybe even tomorrow, before I can get each individual my affiliate link for each knife. If you want to click on that, want to buy one of them, hey, that's great. I'm not shilling you to. I'm not begging you to buy a product just so I can get a couple of bucks. You know, I do love when Blade Ops gets a little feedback and they at least know that you know they're not wasting their time sending me product. Kind of wish I was a little deeper into this before I made a somewhat negative video, but I don't feel like this is a negative video. I feel like there are positive things about these knives. I just feel like a lot of the negativity isn't warranted simply because you can't complain about this price and brag about all the budget knives you've bought from a designer that's never made anything. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, I appreciate any amount of time y'all spend with me. Peace. Love y'all.